Good morning, friends. Today we will be discussing with a new chapter, that is line balancing. So mainly why it is needed. First, let us concentrate on that one. Then we will go on in detail the technical things. Line balancing, why we need it is when we do a part in a production line, when a part is being passed in a production line, so it will be passed in different machines. So one machine will take different time compared to another machine. Hence, together to calculate the total time, how much it is required for a part to come out, it has to pass through some of the machines. So now one machine will take some time. So like this, different machine will take different times. To optimize this one, such that we can reduce total time, how much it spends for one part to be manufactured in the shop floor, that one we go for optimizing using line balancing. Fine. So now let us go for one by one here. That is, first one, cycle time. That is what we need to concentrate here, which is noted as TC, cycle time. So commonly we define it as time interval at which the line will be operated. So it is nothing but for how much time one work part will be spent at one workstation. We call it as a workstation, where different machines, one or two machines, will be working on the work part. That is what we call it as a workstation. So for one workstation, how much time it will be stopping, that is what we call it as a cycle time of one workstation. Okay. So like this, different cycle times will be there for different machines, or it may be same for every machine. For one, how much time interval the work part will be stopping for one workstation, that is what we call it as TC. Next, second one comes the work content time. So here, work content time, total work content time, it is nothing but total work content time for a part to be manufactured in the shop floor. That is, start from raw material, from first workstation, second workstation, third workstation, like this it will be moving on, and further when it come out of the production unit. So total, how much time it takes for to manufacture that one, that is what we call it as TWC, total work content time. Fine. Next we go for third one, that is line efficiency. So when we take into account of both the things, cycle time and work content time, we can derive line efficiency. So how much total work content time is there, and how many workstations are there, for each workstation how much it is stopping. So that which gives us the line efficiency. How much time efficiently that production line is working, that we can derive. Finally, we are finding out line efficiency using line balancing algorithms. I mean, different methods are there. We are going for finding out the same thing here. Finally, line efficiency we are finding out. Next comes fourth one, minimum rational work element. Yes, we are starting from basic thing now. What all things are needed to calculation purpose of the above things. The first thing which is needed is this one, that is minimum rational work element, that is TEK, what we note it as TEK. Okay, so commonly what we define it as small amount of work which cannot be divided further. Minimum rational work element which cannot be rationalized further. For example, rationalizing, I hope all of you know about that one. What do you mean by rational? So it is nothing which can't be divided further. Okay, example 3 or something. So like that, here any of the work elements, for example, it may be a step of drilling, holing, tapping, any step, okay, which cannot be divided further. I mean, which cannot be can't be done in different steps. So that work we call it as a minimum rational work element, TE. So combining all these things, TE, total TE is what we get is that is what we can write here in the equation. TWC, work content time, is equal to summation of K is equal to 1 to NE, that is TEK. Total TEK, total TE, each work element time. For one work element, that is 1 TE will be there. Like that, different work elements will be there which will accomplish a final product. So total TE, when we make a sum of total TEKs, we will get the total work content time. Okay, that is what we can see here in the equation, where TEK note as a time to perform work element K. Okay, one work element. So N is number of work elements, K which is, that is work, number of work content, K. So next comes TS, I mean station time. Okay, station time is nothing but TC, cycle time, what it is. Okay, commonly both are same, station time and cycle time, TC. So we can, in terms, we can write it in station time also, that is total number of stations, how much are there. So one for one station, how much time it is taking, that also, which gives us the total work content time. Okay, total work content time, TWC, is nothing, it can be also calculated using station time. For one station, how much time it is taking, so multiplied by total number of workstations, if it is same for each workstation. If it is not, the station time is not same for each workstation, again, I mean summation of these station times, we get the TWC. Fine. So next comes the precedence constraints. Okay, the next comes the precedence. Yeah, now we are going for doing analysis, what we can do further. Now these are all the technical things what all we have discussed. So next comes the how to go for doing these methods. Before going for those methods, what all standard methods are there, two things we need to understand always, that is precedence constraints and this precedence diagram. So these are the main two steps based on which we go further doing the problems. So first one is precedence constraints. So in precedence constraint, that is the fifth point, precedence constraints are nothing but restrictions to perform work sequence. For example, we are doing, previously we discussed that we are going for rationalizing the work elements, and we are taking the smallest work element as a one work element, second work element, third work element, like this. Okay, we are dividing it. Now when we go on giving the numbers for it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, work content 1, work content 2, work element 3, work element 4, like this. So now when it may be a possibility that work element 4 cannot be done unless the work element 3 is completed, means work element 4 is depend upon work element 3. That is what we call it as precedence constraints. Precedence, I mean behind what all the constraints are there for to do the next work element. That is what we call it as precedence constraints. Okay, the best example is making a internal threading. If I want to do internal threading in a plane surface, first I need to drill it. Okay, or also I can give an example of tapping. Okay, to do tapping, first I need to drill the hole, then only I can do the tapping, otherwise I can't do the tapping. So like this, some